The following program is rated TVMA-L. This contains of language and other mature audience also as well. Views mentioned in the device. Also, please turn down on audio any devices. We want to have good things, not have bad things. And now, enjoy the show.
On today's special JXJ Reactions, we're doing our next video that will be continuing our learning. Today, we are going to talk about the biggest surprise of all time. And if you've been keeping an eye on details what the feature had, today, we are going to talk about this. If you folks don't know, I've been waiting for this for a long time. But now, the cat has been out of the bag. Because today, we have a very special video. Today, we're going to talk about more details about Minneapolis, because today, we're going to talk about one of the most company of all time. Mall of America. Oh yes, Mall of America. And speaking of which, stay tuned for some special classic anniversary throwback posting videos that I did not do yet, such as Dragon Ball Demonics Tour Special and the 25th anniversary of SpongeBob meets Tom Kenny. I'm gonna make a plan to work on that later this summer, so be a lookout for that. And yes, we're doing this for this special anniversary. And yes, we're doing a little bit. In fact, now I will probably say there will probably be a chance that I could get copyright from Nickelodeon from using the intro. So if I do, better safe than sorry. Plus I thought this fits well to honor the anniversary of the anniversary, which was closer to Nickelodeon. But credit belongs to Nickelodeon still. I do want to confirm that, which you'll find out. Anyways, folks, so today's special we are going to be reacting to. It's a special double feature because today we're going to talk about this. Now, if you've been keeping an eye on this, Mall of America has been doing lots of more biggest things ever. However, Mall of America might be taking a step next level. Today, this could be a new game changer, but I've been enjoying this. Ever since Mall of America has been goat by goat changes, it's been taking it to the best. But today, we're going to talk about something that we have been itching our backs for a while. And today, we are going to talk about this. We have talked about this a lot sometimes. Probably we not been talking about this yet, but on the internet, let's just say the internet's been hearing some new informations about it. Because today, we're going to talk about it. And, sorry, I just got hiccups, but yeah, we're going to talk about it. Because in this video, we're going to talk about the brand new thing they are launching. And soon, it's coming soon. It's a new game changer, and they just started launching it. They said they're going to start preparing this, and they said they will opening very soon in the future. Might take some time, but it will get better. We've been patient for long enough, and now it's finally coming. The longest wait is soon going to be happening. Ladies and gentlemen, today's special video we're going to talk about is the biggest of all time. Today, we're talking about the Mystery Cove. To the folks who don't know, I have been keeping an eye every day. Ever since Mystery Cove has begun, there's a lots of things been happening behind the scenes. As a matter of that, well, what do we have here? we got some new things, new designs, new behind the scenes that we should talk about, including some new outfits that we will be discussing. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be discussing this on the channel, and there will be 2 links in the description below. Plus, looks like I found more details in the behind the scenes about what the mystery cove Waterpark will be look like. And looks like I will give them credit. This looks really damn good. In this video, we are going to talk about this. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you brace yourselves, because we're ready. It's about damn time. But first, let's cue the intro. Today, we're going to be talking about it. Before that, we need to look back. How did MOA started? Like, how did a legacy started this whole thing from the start? We need to go back in time. Like, how did Mall America became the best successful of all time? Well then, I think we need to find some answers. And that's why I'm going to walk you down to memory lane. What's this about? There's the details in the link description. But, what is this Mall America? Mall America started this opening doors since 1992. Mall America has realized the shopping experience of tons of million of visiting year of leadership in retail and entertainment and attractions for Mall America is the #1 top of the tourist directions and countries of the know around the world. That's what it's about. Mall America started opening since 1992 before that. However, before that, there's the details about it. And that's why we're going to give you a little history lesson. Like, how did Mall America started? Before Mall America, this was called the Bloomington home of Mitchell Stadium. This was started a long time ago. Like, probably like before was originally home of it. Probably like a decade ago. I will say that. Anyways, it says, in 1982, Minneapolis Twins and Vikings resorts from Metro Stadium in the Bloomington to the HHH Mitchell Stadium, downtown Minneapolis, created by Uprise Demonics opportunity for 78 inches of prime resource, and 3 years later, the Bloomington Pointed Attractions purchased the stadium state and began to entertainment process for Mall America was chosen by 4 final projects, and on June 4th, 1989, directors and the logos has been received by the Broken Grounds, and on August 11, 1992, when Mall America will open, 300 stores were open, and business was more than tens and thousands of employees that started their first day of work. Today, Mall America hosts more 300 years in ratings and contracts in celebrities, appearance in fashion show. Each year, 32 million people from around the world visit Mall, grand over 3 billion each year, and in comics and impact in the state. And in fact, the creators of Childs, who started in Minneapolis with the Peanuts, also joined in with the Mall of America since 1992. That was the day it was open. However, they discontinued the partnerships. And yes, it happened here. This was beginning of the start of the partnership. And it was the beginning of the beautiful friendship. This was the first day open, and yeah, they were busy. Wait, Starbucks. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, hold up a second. This looks sick. Wait a minute, hold up. I just found out. The Starbucks stay since the opening? Huh, I don't know. And yeah, before Nickelodeon Universe Mall of America, it came home to Camp Snoopy. This was before. And the Witchell Lego store instead of movie deers inside MOA. And then, after Nickelodeon Universe and Viacom joined forces, Nickelodeonverse was opened in March of 2008. And, in fact, fun fact, Nickelodeon Universe is the first only location in Minneapolis. No joking. In fact, there's another fun fact. Paramount Land started Nickelodeon first from the 90s. However, in 2007, after Paramount discontinued with the Cedar Park, that's where they ended the partnership of the Peanuts. So not only the Peanuts ended in 2006, they also ended with this. So it just disconnect everything. The Mall of America and the Peanuts Land attractions, all of them. Then after they changed the name, Nickelodeon first was remained the same until they moved to Minneapolis. And because of this, Minneapolis became the first Nickelodeon location. And yeah, ever since then, I've been there. In fact, I've been there first day when I was a kid. And yes. Yes. It was good old days. I remember my first day. I remember it. Nickelodeon first did have some time changes. However, like the Lost Shoe, it's been the only one. So yeah, everything was still the same. They had some new attractions, new things. There are new things that they were appearing. Some of them were keeping some of them, and the less they have more. Let's just say there was so much in fact. Plus, during the anniversary, they also brought back the train ride, which I didn't know this was actually for adults. At least Nickelodeon Universe still continues. And in fact, they still continue with the Viacom's name. Even still, they're done with the contract. They'll still have the rights to Viacom. Even still, they have Paramount instead. But I think you know what I'm talking about, basically. But yeah. Nickelodeon Universe still owns Park still, and this was the first time. However, Bloomington and the Nickelodeon first did have a little strike deal with New York to create a second attraction. And bam, Nickelodeon first became a new home this one. So, yeah, Nickelodeon Universe was probably been one of the most craziest ever. And, yeah. Which I do remember. Now, I do remember also one thing I found out that the Flying Dutchman zip lines would discontinue. How I know that? Because I don't know what happened. I think they just closed down. Let me check out before we actually do begin talking about more details about it. And I know that was off topic, but hold on. Did Mall of America discontinue the Flying Dutchman? Let me see. There was an announcement. They said, based on the report of late 2025, the Dutchman ditch was included. The ghost interactions and so on was the what? Wait, what? What? Hold up. There was an announcement? Wait a minute, hold up. Wait a minute, wait. It, wait a minute. Mall America. there's an announcement. You're trying to say that you're done? Huh. Wait, what's this? Oh yes, I actually did do a meet and greet. Well, I didn't do meet and greet, but yeah. Um, wait, hold up. You mean to tell me there was an announcement that the Flying Dutchman was gone? Like, there's no more Flying Dutchman. Hold on. I don't see any details. It says, oh, they, oh no. Hold up, guys. We might have some breaking news here. I did not notice, but, I just found out that the Flying Dutchman may have run out of business. Yeah, it says, yes, the Flying Dutchman Dex Adventures course. It was referred to as Flying Dutchman, and as a Nickelodeon first, was closed permanently following attractions. As a late of 2025, wait, wait. You mean, I didn't know this. The, wait, wait. Flying Dutchman was great. Wait, hold up, wait. The Flying Dutchman motto was a roller coaster. Oh wait, that was a roller coaster, but it says none of roller. Wait, remove it. It will remove from the park website and trips. Wait, you mean to tell me they actually close? Wow, I cannot believe they actually did that. That is really shocking. Wow, rest in peace to the Flying Dutchman. Yeah, that was ripping the chat. Wait. What? Man, that sucks. That means my favorite slide's closed. Ah, rest in peace. Well, folks, looks like ripping the chat. Looks like Flying Dutchman is gone at Nickelodeon first. And, in fact, this might be the first time that Nickelodeon Universe has never gotten a remove before. Yeah, I'm actually shocked. This is the first time. They have never done a remove before. They never done a remove before, which I will be surprised. Yeah. Hold up, it says, yeah, so I see why the ratings. If, wait, this was, oh, this is Valley. Lame, this is Valley Fair. Oh. Okay, well, alright, we need to check some ratings. What happened? Why did it got removed? Only one revealed, that's it. Wow, that is real suck. Well, guys, looks like Flying Dutchman ran out of business. No wonder why the Nickelodeon first Man Pass will continue. That really sucks. Yeah, that real sucks. Rest in peace. Um. Okay. Yeah. Rest in peace. Yeah, that really sucks. Yeah. Anyways, guys, so I guess let's move on from some disappointing news from the Flying Dutchman. I didn't know they actually closed down. Okay, well, it makes sense why I went there. Anyways, guys, let's just move on. So basically, if you folks don't know what the Mystery Cove is, it's actually like a Mystic Cave, basically. And basically, it's basically like they were thinking idea of stranding over island, basically. But look what we have here. We found some more details of the design. And I found out this was from... So credit belongs... I guess I'll give credit to the Rowe design. They actually are design. Anyways, yeah. Mystery Cave is actually going to be the new home of this one. And they are... Looks like they work closely. Wait a minute. Is this a new update? Wait, they said... Closer. Is this mean that they are getting closer to... Okay, so these are new products they were talking about, plus some new details what's going to be look like. Huh. Okay, that's not too bad for the designs. So they were thinking idea what will be look like. Okay, I see. So they're going to be doing this idea. Oh. Oh, this is the part they were thinking of. Oh, I see. Okay, they're gonna have some good. Oh, and they're also gonna have some tubes. Okay. I see they were gonna do it, so they're also making food products they were thinking of. Oh, I see. So they're using some ideas from the park from the 1930s through 50s. That's actually smartest move. I will get credit to that. But, wow. Look at the designs. They are really handy. Oh, so that's why they did at Disney World. I don't know. I didn't see that, but I wish I could go there. Maybe. So they're the one who in charge of the design of the Mystery Cove, what the design will be look like, and what the new ones. Okay, well, I'll give credit to that. They really done it this time. Anyways, guys, so we're gonna watch it and see what details about. I do want to give you guys a heads up. It is going to be pretty boring, but you guys will have to deal with this. Anyways, as you can see, some images that you actually been looking a lot. They have been popping in some details about it, and there are also some holidays that soon will be released. They include Halloween and holidays. I'm thinking if they're releasing it, yes, they're going to do this, so yeah. I do want to give you guys heads up that I'm probably also going to censor some of the scenes to it to keep this simple, but please note this is the kind of the only way, so yeah, please note for that. Okay? And hopefully you guys understand. Anyways, this video is going to be about 25 through about 31 minutes or something. So there will be talk about it, okay? Anyways, guys, so let's begin. Now, please note there are going to be some details what the feature is going to be. Now, it does take place 3 months ago until then. I think I remember because he did talk about this. So someone did talk about this on the first talk about this, and some people are talking about this, basically. But yeah, Mystery Cove is going to be the brand new water park, and you know I'm really excited for this one. I can't wait. Anyways, before we begin, make sure to like this video. Also, subscribe to the channel. Alright, let's react to it, shall we? 3, 2, 1, let's go. Oh, sorry. Man. If you hear some background, sorry about that. It sounds like a motorcycle. Anyways. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Why the Mall of America water park will change Minneapolis forever. So the Mall of America draws in 32 million visitors a year. Now imagine adding a massive indoor water park. Open year-round, connected by Skyway. This $400 million project has been delayed for years, but now it's officially happening. And when Mystery Cove opens in 2029, Bloomington's real estate market is going to feel completely different.
I do want
so
to
let's take a closer look. What's actually being built? So picture this. You're going to be able to walk from Nordstrom straight into a wave pool. No coat, no car. No Minnesota winter stopping you. That sounds wild, right? But that's exactly what Mystery Cove Water Park will be in 2029. We're talking about 143,000 square feet of indoor water park. That's basically 3 football fields of water attractions under a roof. So the total investment is going to be over $400 million when you factor in the water park itself at around $375 million, plus infrastructure and a new parking structure. So let that sink in for a second. So here's what we're getting: a massive 52,000 square foot dual wave pool split by a themed ship structure called Captain Lucivio's, a 1,400-foot lazy river winding throughout the park, more than 30 slides and water attractions, a family splash zone for all ages, so you're getting tons of variety.
Good.
And speaking of infrastructure,
Wait, is that
the financing story behind
this is
which we'll break down shortly,
100%.
proves this isn't speculation, so stick around. So here's the other super cool thing: a retractable roof. So those brief, beautiful Minnesota summers, the roof opens up for that outdoor water park feel. During the winter, when it's -10 outside, you'll enjoy water slides in a climate-controlled environment. The whole thing has this retro 1950s mystery themed centered around a missing aircraft and a shipwreck. It's connected directly to the Mall of America via Skyway, and it's designed to hold 3,000 guests all at one time. The designer, Chris Grapp, said something interesting: we wanted to create a water park that's entertaining for 20 visits, not just one. They're designed for repeat visits, which changes everything about how this impacts the local economy. This isn't just a destination level attraction. It's meant for daily life for South Metro families. That distinction is very important for what comes next. Now listen, if you're thinking about buying or investing in Bloomington, Richfield, Eagan, or South Minneapolis specifically, I work with buyers and investors positioning themselves ahead of major developments like this. We can talk through current pricing, which neighborhoods offer the best entry points, and how to time your move before 2029. My contact information is in the description down below. All right, so let's get into it. So why is this a big deal for Minnesota? So here's why this goes beyond just having a cool water park to visit. So we have 2 seasons here, winter and road construction. And Mystery Cove fixes the biggest problem we have to deal with every single year. That being that half of the year basically disappears. That retractable roof makes the water park even better. In the summer, the roof opens up and it feels like a real outdoor water park. In the winter, when temperatures drop below 0, you can still be inside. The water park is climate controlled, so you can fly down water slides all year long. So this just isn't a summer thing. It becomes a 4-season anchor. But this is not simply about having something to do in January. It's about keeping people here longer, and that's where the real money gets made in tourism. Day visitors spending money, sure. But overnight visitors spending way more, hotels, extra meals, and shopping, it all stacks up fast. Right now, about 40% of Mall of America's visitors are tourists coming from more than 150 miles away, and the water park alone is projected to pull in almost 1 million visitors a year. A lot of those people aren't going to do a quick day trip anymore. They're staying overnight or even a couple nights. And when we talk about real estate, I'll show you exactly which neighborhoods benefit the most from this extended stay shift. So stay tuned. Now, Bloomington already has over 9,000 hotel rooms ready to capture that demand. Research by Whitewater found that 66% of hotels that added water park features reported average daily rate increases of 11% or more. Hotels with water parks also tend to get higher ratings and stronger occupancy. This also speeds up Mall of America's shift from retail to experience-driven tourism. The mall originally opened with an 80-20 split between retail and entertainment. Today, it's closer to 60% retail and 40% entertainment. and the mall's leadership is aiming for a 50-50 balance. The Bloomington Port Authority put it pretty clear. The water park fits the long-term plan to turn the mall into more of a mix of retail and entertainment, with a bigger emphasis on entertainment. Retail gets people to visit once, but experiences get people to come back. With Mystery Cove, the Mall of America starts competing directly with major destination resorts nationwide. Think Kalahari, Great Wolf Lodge, and the Cartwright Resort. Then you have the Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport, which served 37 million passengers in 2024, making it the 18th busiest airport in the entire United States. The airport is also going through major expansion, with over $571 million approved for capital improvements. Delta runs MSP as its second largest hub, serving 7 out of every 10 passengers that go through the airport. That kind of infrastructure makes national and even international marketing a whole different game. The water park turns into a real reason to add a layover or take a business trip and stretch it into a family weekend, which brings us to something important. If this is such a no-brainer, then why did it take 4 decades to actually happen? Why it took so long? So this water park concept has been in the Mall of America's vision since the 1980s, when 555 was first planning the mall. Then it came back in a real way in 2018 when they commissioned an economic impact study projecting almost 1 million visitors a year. So the demand was validated. Then COVID hit in 2020, and it crushed tourism and hospitality. Plans that looked fine in 2019 suddenly didn't work because travel collapsed. Financing markets froze and uncertainty spiked. Inflation then hammered construction budgets. The estimated costs jumped from around the low to mid $200 million range in early years to around $345 million by 2023, and ultimately it reached $375 million for the water park alone. So here's the thing. High interest rates made development financing expensive. Projects that penciled out with 3% interest struggled when rates rose above 6 to 7, even 8%. And that changed everything. So here's the thing. Kurt Haugen, Senior VP for Development at 555, even acknowledged interest rates remain high. And because of that, the company had to provide substantial loan guarantees. So they had to put real skin in the game, put your money where your mouth is, quite frankly. Now, this part is important.
Yeah, of course.
Minnesota had to change the rules. The legislature passed specific legislation in 2025 extending pandemic-era rules that loosen restrictions on tax increment financing so Bloomington could legally use TIF funds for the water park. So the city approved $160 million in tax increment financing in September of 2025. Private financing, including a $120 million loan and a $133 million C-PACE loan. So the whole setup uses property tax revenues generated by Mall of America itself to help fund the development. And the Twin Cities market has proven demand. Mall of America still pulls in around 32 million visitors a year, and that is built-in traffic. And as retail keeps getting squeezed by e-commerce, the water park became strategically essential for the mall's long-term relevance. So by 2025, the pieces finally came together. Extended TIF authority, private loan commitments, and 555's loan guarantees. Projects don't survive several years of delays without real strength. The fact that this survived signals durable demand, not speculation. And that leads right into why Bloomington was uniquely positioned to make this work. So most cities would have to build all of this from scratch, but Bloomington already has it sitting there waiting. You have the Mall of America with around $2 billion in economic impact. Then you have the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport, basically right there with 37 million passengers a year, and they're doing a major expansion. On top of that, You've already got over 9,000 hotel rooms clustered right around the airport and the Mall of America corridor. And you're seeing new hotels pop up too, with over 300 rooms, the JW Marriott, the Intercontinental Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport Hotel, and the Hyatt Regency. Plus, the Blue Line light rail connects downtown Minneapolis to the Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport and the Mall of America, so people can actually move around without a car. So this isn't random. This is decades of Bloomington basically saying, we're going to be the tourism center of Minnesota and we're going to invest like we mean it. And Mystery Cove doesn't have to create that from zero. It just cranks up what's already working in the city of Bloomington and Minneapolis-St. Paul. Before this, a lot of families hit the Mall of America for a day, and then they went home. After this, those same families can justify booking a hotel for multiple nights, and now you're splitting time between shopping, Nickelodeon Universe, Sea Life Aquarium, and a full day at the water park. That's a different trip, right? And the ripple effects are pretty obvious. This leads to more jobs, longer average stays, and higher visit frequency. Convention and group travel gets more interesting too, because the water park makes Bloomington more attractive for conferences and for family travel. Don't get me wrong, Minneapolis and St. Paul are always going to be the headline names in the Twin Cities, but Bloomington is quietly positioning itself as the region's tourism capital. And Mystery Cove is going to speed that up. Now, let me show you exactly how tourism growth turns into real estate pressure. So Bloomington's median home price sits in the mid to high $300,000 range. Make sure you file that away, because understanding the baseline tells you where the opportunity is. So immediate impact areas are going to be Bloomington, especially around the Mall of America, Richfield right to the north, Eagan to the southeast, and South Minneapolis neighborhoods. So if you're thinking about maybe investing in a short-term rental, now would be the time, because in many of those areas, there's going to be high demand for short-term rentals because they're going to be closer to the Mall of America and Mystery Cove Water Park. So here's what the numbers actually look like. As of December 2025, Redfin shows the median sales price of a home in Bloomington to be $379,000, and Zillow shows in the mid 300s. Homes are selling in roughly 22 to 33 days. So Richfield sits in the low to mid $300,000 range, so it's more accessible as far as an entry point than Bloomington, while still being close to the new water park. Eagan ranges in the mid to high $300,000 depending on timing and the source that we're getting our data from. So South Minneapolis really depends on the neighborhood. Nokomis is around $410,000. Longfellow is in the high 300s to low 400s. And overall, Minneapolis's median range is from the low to mid $300,000. The market seeing modest but steady growth, about 2 to 4% year in and year out, with low inventory and competitive conditions. So Mystery Cove creates immediate demand for hotel rooms. Those 9,000 plus hotel rooms will see higher occupancy and higher rates during peak period. And you should expect new hotel projects to get announced as developers respond. 555 has already said they're planning a hotel directly connected to the water park. So with hotels popping up, this creates several hundred direct jobs plus indirect jobs. Areas closest to the Mall of America get more attractive for workers who want shorter commutes. So Bloomington, Richfield, and near South Minneapolis neighborhoods become more desirable over time. And when an area gets more desirable because of amenities and jobs, the entry-level home segment usually moves first, and it doesn't move down, it moves up. That range in the low to mid 300,000 tends to see the fastest appreciation when demand picks up. And Richfield, with those low to mid $300,000 medians, is the most accessible entry point near the Mall of America. So don't be surprised if a buyer activity heats up and appreciation speeds up as 2029 gets closer, especially for the city of Richfield. Then there's the redevelopment pressure. Older properties near major attractions get squeezed as land values rise. Bloomington has a lot of older housing stock, with the largest share built in the 50s through the 70s, which creates opportunities for teardowns, renovation, and infill. So with the water park opening in 2029, the market effects build gradually as construction moves forward. Buyers and investors with longer time horizons will benefit the most. This adds to the Mall of America's already massive visitor numbers. Make sure you understand, buyers need months and years to identify opportunities, secure financing, and actually close when you're talking about commercial real estate. This doesn't mean prices explode overnight. It means pressure builds steadily. Buyers who position themselves ahead of the opening gain an advantage. And the trade-off here is if you wait, you're probably paying a premium for reduced uncertainty. So the question becomes, who actually wins in this scenario? Who benefits the most? If you already own in Bloomington, Richfield, Eagan, or South Minneapolis, congratulations. You just gained home equity without lifting a finger. And that's really the honest truth. Long-term homeowners are going to see values move up because the area gets better amenities, more things to do, more reasons for people to be there. And if you're buying in 2026 to 2028, you're basically getting into today's prices before the water park opens. The trade-off here is you've got to be okay with holding it for 3 to 5 years to really see your maximum appreciation. Now, if I were targeting areas, Richfield is still that affordability plus proximity play. Bloomington, near the Mall of America, is going to be really interesting. And if you got accessible South Minneapolis neighborhoods like Nokomis, those tend to get pulled into this too. Then you've got redevelopment pressure. Properties with great lots, but older homes become very attractive. Investors can buy older homes on a good lot, renovate it or rebuild it, and then sell it at a higher value. That's just how it works when land values start rising. But the thing is, Mystery Cove tilts the family lifestyle math toward Bloomington and those nearby suburbs. Having a major indoor water park that's open year-round gives families a valuable amenity without dealing with the traffic and parking challenges of downtown. And nobody, quite frankly, wants that every week. And when you combine that with Nickelodeon Universe, Sea Life Aquarium, and everything else the Mall of America has to offer, families have enough entertainment variety to justify living in the southern suburbs. And zooming out, job growth, tourism spending, and infrastructure investment, that makes the local economy more resilient. Places that keep getting visitors tend to build more vibrant neighborhoods and stronger commercial areas. So for families relocating to the Twin Cities, Bloomington checks a lot of boxes. Safe neighborhoods, a lot of parks, easy access to the airport, and now a major water park that rivals standalone resort destinations. But before we wrap this up, you got to understand how this fits into something bigger happening across the entire Twin Cities metro area. Okay. How this fits into a bigger trend. So the Mall of America just didn't wake up one day and say, hey, let's have a water park. This is basically the end result of a 40-year strategy. And as I said earlier, the mall is targeting a 50-50 balance between retail and entertainment. Retail gets people to visit once, while experiences get people to come back. That's the bottom line. And Mystery Cove fills a gap. It complements what they've already have instead of competing with it. So now families can build a multi-day plan to stay in the area and visit the water park and all the other attractions that the Mall of America has to offer. Day 1 is the water park. Day 2, Nickelodeon Universe and Sea Life. And day 3, shopping at events at the mall. And every extra day means more hotel revenue, more dining, more retail spending, all of it. And don't get me wrong, downtown Minneapolis is still important, but suburban centers are taking a bigger share of retail. entertainment, and hospitality investment. Bloomington has a full development plan for the South Loop District around the Mall of America. Mixed-use development, transit-oriented density, better walkability, and integrated office, residential, retail, and hospitality. So Mystery Cove fits that bigger vision of building a dense, walkable, entertainment-rich district that functions as a destination. The South Loop is turning into a real urban sub-district with the Mall of America and the Waterpark as the entertainment anchors. And here's a key shift. Traditional suburban development leaned on offices as the anchor, and that model is getting challenged because remote work reduces office demand. So entertainment anchored development is more resilient because you can't do a water park remotely. You've got to physically be there. And that resistance to digital displacement gives stability that office dependent development just doesn't have. And while office demand can swing around, entertainment demand tends to stay more stable, especially for family-focused stuff. Cities that invest in experiences hold attention and value longer. Entertainment destinations give reasons for repeated visits, sustained spending, and long-term vibrancy that retail-only models can't begin to match. So that long-term thinking is exactly why tracking what happens between now and 2029 gives you a real competitive edge. So here's exactly what you should be watching. The biggest thing to watch is construction milestones, because that tells you if this stays on schedule or if it starts sliding. Construction begins in the spring of 2026. Then 2026 through 2028, you're going to see the vertical build. Steel frame exterior going up, the interior build out. If that speeds up or slows down, that's your signal the timeline is changing. Then in 2028 to 2029 is the final systems, testings, and commissioning. And make sure you watch that retractable roof installation. That's going to be a big milestone. Now, watch for new hotel announcements near the Mall of America and along the I-494 corridor. 555 has already indicated a hotel directly connected to the water park. And if you start seeing more projects popped up, that's the industry basically saying, yeah, we believe this is happening, which they should because they already have permit approval. Then keep your eyes on the roads, parking capacity announcement, and transit updates like the Metro Blue Line service or station improvements. Also, watch zoning changes because that's usually the first clue developers are getting serious about higher density projects. If you start seeing applications for new apartments or mixed-use projects, that's private sector confidence. And if older properties start getting redeveloped, that's the market recognizing the location is now worth more. On the housing side, monitor how fast homes are selling in Bloomington, Richfield, and South Minneapolis. Track whether price growth in those areas starts beating the broader Twin Cities market. And permits in the South Loop District of Bloomington. That's another big one. That's developer confidence in real time. So here's the bottom line. Those indicators give you early signals that most people miss. Track them consistently and you'll spot opportunities before they're obvious to everyone else. So in conclusion, the question isn't if Mystery Cove changes Bloomington. Financing approval, construction start, and the fact that they pushed this for 40 years tells you change is coming. The real question is, who positions themselves to benefit from it the most? If you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing in the South Metro, specifically Bloomington, Richfield, Eagan, or South Minneapolis, shoot us an email at team@hhgus.com today, and we can walk you through what's happening in those specific cities. And I've linked a video here to break down how the Twin Cities housing market has just shifted. Inventory is rising, bidding wars are dropping, and builder incentives are creating opportunities that resale sellers can't match. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next video and house.
Okay. Okay. Anyways, guys, that was a reaction to the brand new Waterpark. Talk about this. I want to confirm that I did have to censor some scenes, so hopefully you guys can and hopefully. But now you know exactly what's going to happen here. So, yes, we're going to have to keep an eye for the Waterpark because I have been talking to see when's happening here. And the good news is, looks like the constructions could start right about now. I did hear, because how I know that? Well, I did went to the, when we dropped my mom off, basically, they did tell me a little heads up that the constructions is starting right now, which means I'm very happy that this is actually happening. They're preparing to start constructions pretty soon. So once you see the constructions, I think you know the drill means that it's starting. But it will take some time, like they said, so there are stages like they said. Just like before when we were waiting, basically, so please note, this might take a while, okay? Now, let's watch the second video. This next video is going to be about Minnesota's talk about Minneapolis, Mall of America. It's about to change forever. This is our final video for today, and then after this, I'm probably gonna be done and I need to get something to eat. Okay, so let's watch the video and see what this is about. Remember, I will have to censor some scenes. I do want to confirm that. Please note, I do want to give you guys heads up. We're not sponsors. I'm just here for the reactions. That's all. Anyways, let's continue our reaction, shall we? Oh, sorry. My fault. Alright, let's continue, shall we?
Mall of America already gets more visitors than Disney World and the Grand Canyon.
Oh,
what they're building right now is on a completely different level. My team has sold over 2,000 homes in this market, and I'm going to show you what's coming and what it means if you live here or you're thinking about moving here. I hear this all the time. People come in from out of state and they want to see the Mall of America. And most locals, myself included, just think of it as a big mall. But things change the moment you go inside, you walk in, look up, and it's Nickelodeon universe right in the middle of the mall. So it kind of catches you off guard in a good way. And what's wild is that this used to be a full baseball stadium. This is where the Minnesota Twins and Vikings played, and they actually kept part of it. There's a marker on the floor showing where the home plate used to be right inside the theme park. You've got rides everywhere that go 4 and 5 stories high with kids flying around on roller coasters. So it feels a lot more like a theme park than a mall. That alone covers 7 acres inside the building. So to give you a sense of the scale, that's about 5 city blocks all under one roof, but the entire mall is about 5.6 million square feet. It's massive. And it's all indoors, all climate controlled with 5 roller coasters and a bunch of other rides. And they're also adding a new Avatar themed experience in spring of 2026, which is gonna be pretty cool. The numbers here are what really put it into perspective because Mall of America gets tens of millions of visitors a year, which is more than Disney World and more than the Grand Canyon. Since it opened, over 1 billion people have come through here, and you've got people flying in to see it. Around 40% of visitors are coming from over 150 miles away. This is already a full destination on its own, but in a minute, I'll show you what they're building next because it takes this to a whole different level. So stay with me. And it's not just a park. Since you've got the Sea Life Aquarium in there, holding over 1 million gallons of water and thousands of sea creatures, and that tunnel wraps all the way around you. So you're walking through a long tunnel with sharks and rays right over your head. And it's one of those things where you have to stop for a second and look around. Then you've got Fly Over America, which is basically a flight simulation where you're strapped into a seat, your feet are hanging, and you're looking at this huge screen. So it feels like you're flying over different places. The seats move, you feel the wind. It's a full experience. There are also escape rooms, a bunch of things for kids to do, and even 2 hotels connected right to the mall. So people stay there and make a whole trip out of it. Then add over 50 restaurants and no sales tax on clothing and shoes, which a lot of out-of-state visitors plan for. So the baseline here is already a lot bigger than most people expect. And that's important to understand before we talk about what's being built next. So let's get into that. If you're looking down in the Bloomington and South Metro area and you're thinking about buying around here, it's worth understanding how something like this actually affects home values and demand in places like Bloomington, Eagan, and Richfield. I'm working with buyers in this area every day. So if you want help figuring out what makes the most sense for you, my info is down in the description, and please reach out. All right, back to the video. So here's a really cool thing about this. You can literally park at the Mall of America and fly out of the airport. I'm not kidding. And a lot of locals still don't even know this is a thing. They rolled this out earlier in 2026. It's called Park, Shop, Fly. It's pretty straightforward because you park at the mall overnight for about $12 a night, taxes included, then hop on the blue line straight to the airport. And when you stack that up against airport parking, which is usually closer to $20 to $30 a day, that adds up quickly if you're gone for a few days. But there's no shuttle because the blue line station is right there in the mall. So from the moment you walk in, get on the train, and a couple stops later, boom, you're at Terminal 1. It's quick, it's simple, and you're skipping all the airport parking headaches. They set aside about 900 spots for this in the East Ramp. It's all monitored with cameras and security, and you can book ahead or just show up if there's space. I posted about this on my Instagram and it took off. Over 500,000 views, tons of comments, and the Mall of America even reposted it, which tells you how surprising this actually is. So yeah, this is smart, but it's also a hint of what's coming because the next phase of what they're building here is a lot bigger than most people expect. But I'll break that down in a bit. And the timing isn't random either, since some of the older airport parking lots around here are getting pushed toward redevelopment. So while that's happening, Mall of America steps in and picks up that demand. And that same kind of move shows up in what they're building next. There's a massive indoor water park coming to the Mall of America, which has been in the works for a long time. There was even a version of this proposed back in 2018, but it got delayed for years before the financing finally came together. The company that owns the Mall of America has been pushing for this for years, and now it's finally moving forward, it seems like. It's called Mystery Cove. The city approved the financing in 2025, and construction is expected to start spring of 2026 with an opening around 2029. So this is actually happening. Now let me break this down because the size takes a second. The main indoor area alone is around 143,000 square feet with a retractable glass roof over it. And the full building gets close to 220,000. That's like really big for something fully indoors. And it connects straight to the mall with an enclosed skyway, so you can go from a roller coaster to a water slide to dinner to your hotel, all without stepping outside. Inside, you've got over 30 slides and water rides, a wave pool that's over 50,000 square feet with a full themed ship in the middle, and a lazy river that runs about 1,400 feet, almost 4 football fields just for that. The whole park is set up in themed zones. You've got names like Fortune Falls, Peril Peak, stuff like that, and each one has its own look and feel. And the style they're going for is more of that old school adventure vibe, like 1950s exploration, vintage travel posters, that kind of feel. There's an actual concept behind it, so it's not just bright colors and slides everywhere. There are also multiple pools, spa areas, and a full splash zone for families, with space for around 3,000 people at a time. Now this is what everybody seems, but what happens around it is actually what affects prices, traffic, and where people are moving. But I'll tell you about that in a minute, so stick with me. And this is what stands out. The roof opens, so in the summer, it feels like an outdoor water park. But in the middle of winter, when it's freezing outside, you're still inside, warm, riding slides, and floating down a lazy river. That's kind of the whole idea here, year round, no matter the weather. The total project is around $432 million, where about $160 million of that is coming from a tax structure tied to the mall itself. So it's not coming out of the city's general budget. The mall is basically reinvesting its own growth, and that funding structure is a big part of why this is finally moving forward after being delayed for so long. And that's what sets up everything coming next. So here's where this gets a lot bigger. Everything we just talked about, the water park, the slides, the wave pool, the 2029 opening, that's just the first piece, which is phase 1. They've already shared the full plan under something called MOA tomorrow. And once you see that, the water park starts to feel like it's only the beginning. Phase 2 adds a lot more, from hotels, an NHL-sized arena for public skating, spaces for events and shows, more retail, spa areas, and even office space. They're also planning things like a tournament space for youth athletes and large event spaces. So it's not just shopping and attractions. It's built to host bigger events too. The goal is to balance the whole property, so it's about half shopping and half entertainment. And they've said pretty clearly that what's coming next leans heavily into sports and entertainment, not just retail. When you stack that on top of what's already there, the indoor theme park, the aquarium, the hotels, the light rail, even the parking setup we talked about, you start to see what they're building toward. It's a place where you can fly into MSP, go straight to the mall, check into a hotel, and spend a few days there without needing a car, then head back to the airport and fly home, which is a kind of setup that doesn't really exist anywhere else in the Midwest right now. Their own projections say this could bring in another 20 million visitors a year and almost double the economic impact for the state, where a big portion of those visitors is expected to come from outside the region. And if you're living in or looking at the South Metro, that kind of growth around Bloomington is something to pay attention to. The city actually has a plan for this area, the South Loop District, which is everything around MOA near the airport and being planned as a more walkable area with new development, more density, and better transit connections. So it's the whole area around it getting built up at the same time, which is a bigger shift than it might look like at first. That space starts getting repurposed and options like this become even more valuable. This isn't something that's waiting years to start showing up, because in 2026, stores like J. Crew and Banana Republic are coming back. Mango has already moved in, and Primark is moving in as well, and it's actually the first time here in Minnesota. A lot of these brands are using the Mall of America as their entry point into the market, which tells you how they're positioning the space going forward. So even before the big construction wraps up, you can already see where this is going to be going. If you look at this overall, it's going to feel a little different depending on how you use the area. If you're coming in from out of town, it's pretty straightforward because you've got a water park that's open year round, connected to a theme park, restaurants, shopping, and hotels all in one place. It turns this into somewhere you actually plan a few days around, and at that point, it starts to feel closer to something you'd actually travel for. The city is expecting the water park alone to bring in over 650,000 visitors a year, which is a lot of people coming into one area, and they don't just stay inside the mall. They go out to nearby hotels, restaurants, and local spots. So places like Bloomington, Eagan, Richfield, along I-5, 494, all of that starts to feel more activity. And that kind of activity tends to build on itself with more visitors, meaning more spending, more business revenue, more tax base, and that usually leads to more investments in the area over time. Now, if you live here, it shows up a little differently. You're gonna notice more traffic around the mall, busier restaurants, just more people in general, especially during peak times. The blue line will pick up more riders too, which is good overall, but if you use it often as is, you'll feel that day to day. And the retail mix starts to change a bit too. Less of the quick errand type stores, more things built for people spending the day there. And keep in mind, Bloomington already carries a lot of weight in the metro since it's one of the larger suburbs here, right along a major job corridor. And the Mall of America already supports thousands of jobs as it is. Home values here have been moving up steadily too, with the single family homes up around 3% year over year, with median values sitting in the mid 300s to low 400s. And this is happening before any of the new development is even built. There's also a lot of money going into this: construction, financing, long-term development, and that ties directly into more jobs and growth around the area. So this isn't starting from zero. And there's a balance here that's worth thinking about, because the Mall of America has always been easy. You go, walk around, grab something to eat, and head out. The parking setup we talked about works because of that, because simple, and now they're adding more of a destination feel with more people flying in, staying longer, and spending more time there. So over time, both of these things are going to be happening at the same time. The everyday version people use, and the bigger version that's bringing in visitors. If you're thinking about living anywhere around this area, that's something you want to have in the back of your mind. Mall of America has been trying to do this for decades, and now it's finally moving. So by the end of this decade, this whole area is going to look very different. If you're thinking about buying in Bloomington, Eagan, Richfield, or really anywhere in the South Metro and want to know what this development actually means for the neighborhoods you're considering or maybe even selling in, email me today and I'll give you a real breakdown of what's available right now. This is the kind of market moment where getting in front of the information everything matters. And if you want to keep going on this, I've linked a video right here breaking down nearly $2 billion in upgrades at the MSP airport and the South Metro suburbs closest to it that a lot of buyers do overlook. Thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Alright then. Anyways, guys, I know this was the longest video. I do want to apologize, but we do want to learn. Now that's out of the way about the mystery code, now you know what's happening. So, there's going to be more details about soon as possible in the future, which I can wait. And there's a lot more details that I think soon we're going to have. Plus, in the future, we're going to be seeing more than just this. But here's my theory, I think, what's going to happen after they do prepare. Before they're going to start constructions, they need to connect to it. So there are two options they're thinking of. If they want to go to entrance, I'm thinking my idea is that they should actually refix Macy's. You know Macy's, not Macy's, you know Shields location at the mall that's been banned for a while. Yeah, I think I have an idea. Just my theory for the MOA Mall America. They should use connection to the Shields for the parking lot. That way they can go in for the entrance, take the escalator, or go there, that way having here, and then they'll have like bathrooms, showers, or in case like a laundry room or something, in case they need to dry their swimsuit. That's actually probably the best choice they should do. So after they start building it, they should connect to the Shields to the parking lot. I think that's actually the better choice, basically, but if they do, then great. So yeah, hopefully you guys understand now about the details about the newest Waterpark. And if you guys want to check out 2 videos, I'll put the link in the description below. But yeah, and just to confirm, I did put a comment down below and saying the feature is going to be bright for MOA, and he actually agreed. He's very happy that basically. So if you guys agree also as well, let me know thoughts in the comments. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just to confirm, credit belongs to 2 channels in the description below. I do not own it. Please support both of which will release. Thank you. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. New videos will return soon for the channel. I'm sorry I've been out for the channel for a while here. I just need a little break. Reaction videos will return. I'm working a lot to get this out of the way before summer starts, but I'm still going to take some breaks, so just to confirm that. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on notification bells, and let me know in the comments down below, are you very hyped for the newest Waterpark will be opening release? And in fact, about the merch, about the shirts and everything, I did find out that the Mystery Cove has started preparing some merch, which is why some of the merch from the Mall America has started popping in at the Mall America shop. I think there's only one exclusive by the hotel, basically. So if you want to, you can go there. You guys grab that. I think I can wait. And Mall America, if you're watching this, if you ever decide, hopefully if you do open it, maybe I can get... I will probably say I wish I could get invited, but I wish. But I will say this, Mall America, hopefully the feature will be bright. You could do like a special presentation, Epcot presentation. I think that'll be like a best. I will be surprised. Yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, this is JXJ, sign off. We will see you folks for the next brand new video. Reaction videos will return very soon on the channel. Until then, bye.